Let's go over some of the basic settings within Mate Engine. First of all, you can pat their head by simply patting their head. And they'll giggle at you, and they'll have a good time, and they'll laugh at you. You can also touch their sensitive spot, and they'll kind of react to that as well. Right-click them to go into the settings. This button here puts them into big picture mode. You can interact with them here as well, although it's a little more limited. Click it again to exit big picture mode. This will put them into a chibi version of themselves. Simply click it again to go out of chibi version. This will put them on a soft macaron pillow. You can move this around. Select it again to take them off of it. This is an alarm clock. You can add an alarm or multiple alarms, enable or disable your alarms, set them for whatever times you like, and decide what you want the alarms to say when they go off. Remove the alarm by simply clicking the X. This is the AI chat. I'm not going to open it because when you select this, it will download the AI model if you're using the Steam version, and I have not done that, nor do I want to do that. Simply open this, wait a little bit for it to ask you to type, and then you can start talking with your pet. You can change the prompt in the settings, and I'll go over that later. This is the custom dance player. Select it, and then if you have dances already enabled or installed, you can see your dances here. You simply select one, and then click play, and it'll start to play it. Click the stop button to stop the playing. This is blend shapes. If your model has blend shapes in it, you'll see them all here. This is not something that is set up within Mate Engine itself, but instead the model that you are using. If the creator of the model has not added blend shapes, you will not see any in here. As for the names of blend shapes, these are also whatever the creator set them as. In this case, you'll see that these are just called blend shape. And this is because it's very likely that Mate Engine simply cannot read whatever the original text is that the artist put, or they did not name it correctly and it's just choosing something on its own. This is the settings menu. This button here is Ambient Light Mode. You can enable it or disable it and modify the colors and lighting effects to give them an ambient light setting. Click back or click it again to exit it. This button and this button combined will add light effects to your model when they're dancing. So if I have these off and I pull up a song, you can see that she dances to it. But if I have these options enabled and I pull up a song, you can see that there's light effects instead this time. These lighting effects can also be changed between the one you just saw, and also if you go into the dance settings located right here, you'll see that there's standard and galaxy mode. Standard is the one you just saw, while galaxy looks like this. You can see it's a little more space themed, if you will. I personally prefer standard. This will change the size of your avatar. There are 3 different size settings between small, medium, and large. Alternatively, if you're not in the settings menu, you simply select your model and then you can scroll the mouse wheel to change their size. Or alternatively, further, if you'd like to change their size, you can go down to the avatar size menu in the appearance section and change their size here as well. This will open up the Discord If you've already joined the Discord, it'll just open Discord. If you have not, then it will ask you to join the Discord. This button here will open up profiles. Selecting these will open up different avatars within the same session of the software and allow you to have up to 9 different profiles with 9 different avatars at the same time. Keep in mind this will use a lot more processing power the more that you have open, so please be aware that your computer may not be able to handle this if you have a weaker machine. This will open up the GitHub issues page, and it is how you can officially report a bug or suggest an addition to the software. This will close Mate Engine. This button here is how you load in mods. Simply select it, and if you have mods, like I do here, you can see I have quite a lot. These are all dances. Then you can remove them or select upload to upload one to the Steam Workshop. Alternatively, if you just have one standalone, you can click Load Mod. This will open File Explorer. Simply find your mod, double click it, and it'll put it in here. This is the graphics settings. Change it from low to ultra. If I choose low, you can see she looks a little more less quality, but if I choose ultra, she looks a little smoother. This will change the language within all of the settings. You see this is Japanese, and we've got, I think this is Polish. I'm not sure. I don't speak whatever this is, but obviously I don't speak it because I don't know what it is. But that's how you change the languages. The FPS limit is limited to the screen that you're currently using. So the screen that I currently have her on is a maximum of 165 and is set to 165. But if I move her to a screen that maxes out at 60, this will max out at 60. And you can change this if you like to as low as you like. You see if it goes to 15, she looks a little more 15 FPS as compared to 165. The Discord rich presence means that if you have your Discord set to show which games you are playing on Discord, then it will show up on Discord that you are vibing with your pet or dancing with your pet or whatever they're doing at the time. It'll show up on Discord. The audio changes the volume between when she's talking to you in the AI chat. For now, though, it's just kind of just sounds. It'll also kind of do little squeals when you hover over her sensitive parts or move her around. The animation change time and transition time determine how long an animation takes and how long it'll change to the next one during idle transitions. Head follows mouse means that she'll follow your mouse. You see she's kind of following me now. I prefer it off, so she looks straight ahead. The blends will kind of change how they are positioned. You change these and they will move around a little bit differently. So if they look like they're moving a little strangely, whether they're following your mouse or not, then play around with these and it may look a little smoother based on the ways that you set this. Hand tracking means that she'll try to grab your mouse, like so. Husbando is more, if you will, masculine movements. These are still in beta, and it also disables head pats, because head pats are not masculine. Inverse kinematics feet, you don't need to worry about this too much. Really, the only time you need to ever turn this on or off is if your model has wobbly feet. For example, this model, if I turn on kinematics feet, has wobbly feet. And if we wait here for just a moment, you'll see her legs kind of shake in a weird way. And I'll wait here until it happens. There it goes. Did you see her right leg and her legs right there just kind of wobble a little bit? That means that she's not compatible with the inverse kinematics feet. So for this, all I have to do is turn it off and it fixes that issue. Otherwise, you don't need to worry too much about it, and you can ignore it, whether or not your model has wobbly legs or not. Avatar size, we went over this, it changes their size. Avatar can dance means that your avatar will listen to audio files based on the software that you set it to, and dance based on the volume threshold that you set just down here. The dance transitions means that in the middle of the dance, if there has been a significant amount of time that you set here on the change in transition time, then it will just change dances. Otherwise, it will not change the dance it does unless it stops or can't hear the audio and then can hear the audio again after the fact. You can modify which software it can listen to using the settings button here. For now, you can see I have a few different options here. If I'd like to add another software, I first need to open the software before opening Mate Engine, and then I will see the software here on my list of software. For example, if I want it to listen to Discord, I can choose Discord and then add right here, and it will now listen to Discord. So if I'm in a call or listening to a video or music file sent to me through Discord, it'll listen to that software and dance accordingly, whether or not it can hear it. If I'd like for it to stop listening to Discord, just click the remove and that's it. These features here, the Start with System, means that it will load Mate Engine when you start your computer. Please be aware that if you do this, it may not recognize that you are launching it directly through Steam unless you set it up in a very specific janky way, which I will not go over. Doing this will still launch the software, but you will not have access to the Steam DLCs. To fix this, simply close the software and reopen it through Steam. Avatar always in front means that it will do its best to stay in front of every other application. Sometimes this breaks and you may need to simply toggle it off and then toggle it back on again. But if it doesn't work, then it simply cannot stay in front of whatever software you're currently having it try and stay in front of. There's no fix to this at this time if that happens to you. Window and taskbar sitting and the offset means that you can sit down on your taskbar like so. And there's a variety of different sitting, as you can see. And if they sit like this, they'll sway side to side or swing their legs and so on. If your model can't sit properly or is too high or too low, simply use the Y offset to change where they are on the taskbar and adjust accordingly for your model. The menu color simply changes the color of this menu. Saturation is the same thing, it's just saturation for this menu. Ambient occlusion, it's just a lighting effect for your model. You can see that when I select it, she gets shadowy more a little bit. This will use a little bit more processing power as it adds shading to your model, and it can look a little better for some. I personally prefer it off. Screensaver, if you turn this on, then based on the time that you set here on this bar, will, after the time amount, with not having any left click or input from your keyboard at all, it will go into big picture mode. And it will exit it as soon as it recognizes a left click or input from your keyboard. This is the system prompt for the AI chat. The more information you put in here, the more detailed your model will be. The length is currently based on whatever you set here. And you can change the personality in this menu. Like I said, the more detail you put, the better. If you simply put, "You are an anime girl," then she may be just a cringe, generic nothing. But if you put information like, "Your name is Zome, you're 21 years old, you live in Japan," then she'll remember that and act accordingly. So please be aware that if you'd like your character to act like the character, then you need to describe that character as detailed as possible. The memory optimizations here will allow you to have better control over how much RAM is being used on your device, but it may cause some issues for you, or it may not. If you're having issues with RAM, simply try turning it on and see if that fixes your problem. Garbage collecting and deleting chat history is simply a way to clear the cache of the software. If you're running into a variety of weird, unexplainable problems, you can try clicking these and see if it fixes them. These halos, error, and event-based messages are for Steam only. You can select them and turn on different halos, or you can double up or triple up on them if you'd like. You can have an error on the screen, which is just kind of in front of them. On this model, it's a little hard to see. Event-based messages are things like, if I move them around, she'll say, "put me down," or a variety of other things. Play around with it and see. The food system means that if you middle mouse button, then you can choose to give them food or a drink. Here we go. Here you go. Have some drink. She's not taking it right now. Have a cake. She doesn't want it. Minecraft integration will allow your model to look at your Minecraft session and see what's happening. It'll react to mobs, it'll react to when you're sleeping, it'll react to when you kill something, night cycles, and a variety of other information. I personally don't play Minecraft, so I cannot show this off. If you do, give it a try. You might enjoy it. To add a new model to the software, you can use the vrm/me button, which will open up File Explorer, where you can then select your .vrm or .me, double-click it, and then it adds it to the software, where you can then go to the Models page and see a variety of models that you have integrated into the software, and then you can simply click Load or to load them in. If you'd like to delete them, you can press and hold the Delete button, or if you'd like to change the image that's displayed, you can use Fix Image, find an image to use instead, and it will use that instead. To exit this, simply click Back. If you'd like to really get crazy with your model, there's a Debug Dev menu where after selecting your model, simply push F8 on your keyboard and you'll open up this screen here. As you scroll, you'll see it's changing the model size. That's because this is still technically the window of Mate Engine, so be aware that when you're interacting with this, you are technically interacting with your model. You can change pretty much everything you'd like in this menu. This is a very detailed set of information, and I will not be going over this. If you'd like to figure out what these are, you are more or less on your own, as there is a ton of information in this that can change nearly every property within the software. To exit it, simply push F8 again. If you'd like to stream your model to Twitch or YouTube, there is one setting that you will need to change. First, go down here to the bottom right corner and click this upward facing arrow to show hidden icons. Once you're in here, find Mate Engine and right-click it, and then select Show App in Taskbar. Once you do this, you'll see that it now shows up in your taskbar down here. You will have to do this every single time you launch the software, and there is no current way to make it stick. To turn it off, simply exit the software or right-click it again, and then you can hide the app from the taskbar. You may also see that there's a variety of other options in here, most of which are already in the settings which we covered. And that about goes over all the settings for Mate Engine. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the Discord using the support channel. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.